What's going on, guys? It's Cursey Ranger here, and I'm bringing you another game on Modern Warfare 2, this time on the map Vacant. And I actually have another story for you guys. This one kind of happened my junior and senior year, and it was kind of stupid. Basically in my junior year, I never had this teacher, but I know a lot of people that did, and nobody really liked him. I cannot remember his name, but I'm not going to say his name out loud anyways. But basically he was a bald white dude, and when I was in high school, I wore my hoodie all day every day, and that was against the rules, which I thought was a really stupid rule, to be honest with you. So I would wear my hoodie every single day, the whole entire day. I was at lunch one day, and this teacher, this bald white dude, comes up to me, and he says something to me, and I think it was something like, "Can you take your hoodie off?" But I got a collateral. Let's go. I legitimately did not hear what he said, so I just asked him. All I said was "what," and he took that as I was talking back to him, which I was not. I just asked him "what," like that's a legitimate question, and he basically called the dean, and I took my hoodie off. Like, I took it off. I was sitting at lunch, I took it off after he told me what he said, but he calls the dean telling her I'm talking back to him and shit. When the dean comes, I was just pissed off. That's the kind of kid I am. I was just pissed off, and I wanted to be a bitch. So when the dean asked me what just happened, I replied with, keep in mind, it's the big bald white dude. I replied with, "Mr. Clean here is being a bitch," which is the stupidest thing I probably could have said. And basically she took me up to the office. All I got was a referral, so it wasn't that bad. She told me if I get in trouble again, blah 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 blah. All that shit. All that bullshit. So yeah, I got in trouble for calling Mr. Clean a bitch and for calling him Mr. Clean. But later on, that was my junior year. Then in my senior year, I had a teacher for the second semester. I believe it was economics, I think. And he was a big bald dude, just like this big white bald dude, except this one was black. And this teacher repeatedly yelled at the class. He repeatedly yelled at the class on a daily basis about how we don't get anything done. And the reason we never got anything done is because this man, all we did was watch movies. He wouldn't teach us shit, and then he'd give us a test. And we watched movies like The Mummy. We watched every single Mummy movie in that fucking classroom. And I don't know about you guys, I personally think every single one of the Mummy movies just absolutely sucks dick. So I had no problem with the movies, I just had problem with them yelling at us when he's the one showing us movies and shit, So he got pissed one day because I was texting, and everybody texts in that classroom, but I was the only person he would get pissed at, which I thought was bullshit. So I was literally texting my dad, who was in the hospital having surgery. He had just gotten out of surgery, and I was texting him to see how he was doing, and the teacher basically got really pissed at me, and I tried to explain to him what was happening. And earlier that year, the same thing happened with a girl in that class. Her mom had just had surgery, and she was texting her, and the teacher got pissed and gave her a referral. Well, basically, I literally walked out of the classroom, and just because he made me stay after class and talk to me, and I was explaining to him what happened, but he didn't give a shit. He was just being a little bitch. So I basically said fuck off and just flicked him off. I just said fuck you and flicked him off or something like that. I don't know. I said fuck and I flicked him off, and I insulted him. And literally he got the dean to chase me. And when I went to the dean's office, they're like, "You can't do that shit." And I explained the whole thing to him. But before I was going to the dean's office, because we have different deans for whatever your last name is, and I was going to my dean's office being escorted by a different dean, and the teacher was right behind me, and she asked me what just happened, and I said Black Mr. Clean is being a bitch, just like I did last year. And it wasn't the same dean that I said it to last year, but it was still a really bitchy dean that I said it to. So she got pissed at that. But when I went to the dean's office, I explained to him what happened, my own dean. And he said saying fuck to a teacher is a mandatory 5-day suspension, which is the stupidest shit I have ever fucking heard. And but he basically let me off. He was like, since your dad was having surgery and shit, I'll just give you 2 days of in-school detention instead of 5-day suspension. And I was like, okay. The first day I didn't even go to ISD. The second day I did, but like I left after 4th period and everything was fine. So I only had to go to 4 periods of ISD for doing that. But when I was in ISD, everybody loved this guy for some reason. I think I was the only student in the whole entire school that hated the ISD teacher completely. And I just thought it was stupid, because saying fuck to a teacher is a mandatory 5-day suspension, yet this ISD teacher can sit here and just cuss all he wants and cuss at his students all he wants. And it's stupid. I've never liked that guy. And he also got me in trouble because he made me leave ISD and just go to class instead of going to ISD, because I was the only person in there. So he literally made me leave, and the dean that sent me to ISD caught me in the middle of the hallway, and I got in more trouble for that, but I never showed up. I just thought all that was complete bullshit, but it was also kind of funny because I met Mr. Clean and the black Mr. Clean, and they're both fucking assholes, as well as the deans, and except for the one that gave me 2 days ISD, and the ISD teacher. They're all bitches. I hated all of them, but it is what it is, you know. But yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting story for you guys to hear. It was complete bullshit. But honestly, moral of the story, you probably shouldn't say fuck off to your teachers. But I feel like I had a little bit of a right to say that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I felt like I had the right to say fuck off to him because he was being a bitch, and I was checking on my dad. And on a side note, I hate this game. Yep, all the tubes, man. I'm just running around no-scoping through smoke is what I'm doing now. That's all I ever want to do. What the fuck? But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. I'll probably always remember that story. You know, I just thought it was real funny. I didn't even see that little fucker right there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, let me know with a like and a comment. And a subscription would be greatly appreciated if you're not already subscribed. But I will talk to you guys later. This has been Crazy Ranger. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.